Hello, and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to learn how to draw and paint an apple using watercolor pencils. To do this, we will need red, yellow, brown, and black watercolor pencils. We will also use heavy watercolor paper. Now, this is very important because regular paper is much too thin for this type of work. A small cup of room temperature water, a brush, and a paper towel. Don't worry about getting any particular brands because I think at this level pretty much anything should work. Okay, let's look at our reference photo. Because the apple we are doing is an organic shape, we don't have to worry about making it symmetrical, which is really great when you're just starting out. We'll begin by roughing out the shape of the apple using our red pencil for the body and brown for the stem. Now, let's speed the video up as we color the entire apple yellow, not worrying about shading at this point except for a few white areas around the top where the light is hitting it. Next, let's add the red, and you will make the reds that are in shadowed areas a bit darker and in some cases maybe even darken them up a bit more with a touch of black. Now we color the stem of the apple brown, and you can see that the end is just a little bit darker than the rest of it. Finally, we add shadows to the bottom with black, and notice that the closer to the apple you get, the darker the shadows get. Now comes the fun part. We will use water to paint our picture following the contours of the apple. And don't worry about it if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to at first. I remember hearing a story about a young singer who once asked Bob Seger how to be successful in the music industry, and Seger told him that the best thing he could do was write his own songs. And the young guy said, "But what if they're bad?" Seger said, "Well, of course they're going to be bad. But then they'll get better and pretty soon you'll start writing good songs." And the same thing applies here. Your first time may produce a really bad watercolor. I know mine did. Just keep at it and you will get better. Now we're going to let it dry for about 30 minutes and then we'll come back and add a few final details. Okay, the picture's dry, so I'm going to add back in a few details that got lost in the painting process, and then I'll give it one last pass with water. Oh, by the way, remember the young singer I was telling you about before the break? Yeah, that was the late Glenn Frey of the Eagles, one of the greatest singer-songwriters of my generation. And it looks like this is about done. As with everything else, getting it right will take some work, but with practice you'll see some definite improvement. Patience, practice, and perseverance. That's what it takes to be good at pretty much anything, including watercolor. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.